Hello my dear kids, hope you all are doing well. This is Kavita Borse from Joy Jumpers, Naranpura. Today I've come with something different for you all that is a part of day-to-day life, but we don't know what is the scientific approach behind that. We all are doing certain things in our day-to-day life, and almost all things that are happening around us have a scientific approach behind them. Some things we do, but we don't know what is the scientific reason or what is the science behind that. Like a fan is running, electricity is a scientific approach. With the remote you can switch off the TV sitting so far, that is a scientific thing. It has a scientific reason behind that. So we will look around for some small experiments that we do in our day-to-day life, and today we'll do those activities or experiments understanding what is the reason behind that, what is the scientific reason behind that. Alright, so today our first small experiment is related to flame. Okay, we all know what is a flame. When you light a candle or a diya, the flame comes up. Today we are going to see what kind of heat is there and what are the zones of a flame. So now I am lighting a candle here. I'll show you some magic in this. I've lit a candle. Okay. See now, gradually the flame is growing big. Now, even if I keep this matchstick this much far, see, it is catching fire. We'll do it once again. I'm keeping the matchstick so far. See, still it is catching fire. Now, what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is, you can see this outer part of the flame that is actually blue, and we can't see it so clearly, but the outermost part of the flame has the maximum temperature. You can see this middle part. This middle part has least heat. इसका temperature सबसे कम होता है. Alright, and this outer part around the flame, around this yellow part, is a thin one more layer of heat that is not so clearly visible, but that is actually blue in color. So even if we can see that we are keeping the matchstick so far because we can't see the flame clearly. Alright, I'll show you with another matchstick. See, I'm keeping it so far. See, it's catching fire. Keeping it so far, it's taking heat from the outermost blue layer. See. Alright, so this is flame. You can call it a magic that even if you're not taking something near the candle flame, it is catching fire, and that is because of the outermost layer of the flame that is somewhat blue in color, but we can't see it very clearly, and it has the maximum temperature. So that is why when your hand comes this much also near to the flame, you can feel the heat. Alright, so now you got the scientific reason why even if we keep something far from the flame, it catches fire. Now we'll move on to the next experiment. Our next activity is also related to heat. You remember kids, whenever we finish our yoga or when we close our eyes for a long time in our prayer, then we are asked to rub our hands like this, and when we rub it fast, you can feel the heat generated in your hands. Now, the scientific approach behind this is, whenever two surfaces that are rough, our hands are not actually plain, they are having the ridges and everything, small ridges, it is not a plain surface. So whenever two rough surfaces rub against each other, due to the rubbing, we call it frictional force. Heat is generated. Okay, Now even if you rub your finger like this for a long time on your hand or say on a cloth, whenever two surfaces are rubbed like this, a small amount of heat is generated and we can feel that. Another best example to show this is a matchbox. You can see in a matchbox, the front and back side texture is different and the side texture, both the side is different. Now whenever we lit a matchstick, what we do, we never rub it on this smooth surface. We always rub it on this rough surface so that heat is generated and a flame is lit. Alright, and the matchstick has a tip of a flammable material that easily catches fire. So remember, whenever two rough surfaces are rubbed against each other, some amount of heat is generated due to frictional force. Now we move on to our next experiment. The third one that we are doing is with water. Have you ever seen kids, whenever you make a lemonade, you add lemon juice, you add a pinch of salt, you add sugar, everything dissolves in water. But by mistake, if a lemon seed falls into water, does it get dissolved in water? No, we have to strain it with a strainer. So water has a capacity to dissolve some things. Okay, some things when we put in water, they get dissolved and mix in water. We can't even identify whether we have added something to this water. Here I have taken 3 glasses, and in these 3 glasses I am going to add 3 different substances. The first thing that I am going to add is sugar. I have some green gram here and salt. Okay, now we'll see what is the effect of all this when we add it to water. I have taken normal water in all the 3 glasses. Now first I am adding sugar. Alright, I am adding these green gram beans, and here I am adding salt. Now I'll stir it. Stir everything. We are going to get 3 different results from this experiment. Okay. Here I have taken sugar. You can see sugar is there below at the bottom. If we leave it for a minute, it will get dissolved in water. You can't then make out that you had added sugar in this. Here are moong beans I have taken, green gram. This will remain as it is even you leave it for the whole night or whole day. Now here I had added salt, and you can see now the salt is completely dissolved. You can't even make out that we had added salt in it. So different things have different solubility in water. Alright, they mix at different times and take different time to mix. Salt has mixed immediately. Now sugar, you can see the sugar grains have, the sugar crystals have decreased. They are getting smaller and smaller. What will happen? This sugar will dissolve completely. And this moong, this green gram, they are not at all going to dissolve. So what have we concluded, kids? Salt, sugar are soluble in water, and some solids like green gram, or you can take rice, or these things are insoluble in water. Okay, see now the sugar is dissolving, and now you can see so less and small sugar crystals. Okay, sugar takes a little time to dissolve, but it dissolves completely. Another thing about sugar is, this is normal water. But if we take little warm water, sugar dissolves faster. Okay, the solubility of water is faster. Solubility in water is faster when the water is little hot. Now we'll see another phenomenon related to water. Another small experiment for today is related to which things they immerse in water, that is they get soaked in water and go down to the bottom, and which things they float above the water. You must have seen when we go to any water body, when we go to a river, to a sea, the pebbles, stones, they are at the bottom. So we are going to see the reason why some things they are on the surface of water and why some things are at the base of water. So the scientific approach behind that is the things that are heavier than water, they get immersed in water, and the things that are light in weight, they float at the surface of the water. Along with being light in weight, some things that have air inside them, they float on the surface of water. The light things float on the surface of water, and the heavier things, they go at the bottom of the water. Now looking at the current scenario, you people know that nowadays whenever mom or dad they bring any fruits or vegetables from outside, we soak them in water. So have you seen the magic? Now here I have taken a potato. I am going to put this in the jar of water. Here I have taken a jar of water. Now I am going to slowly put this potato inside. See what happened? It just got immersed in water. It has gone at the bottom of the jar. Now here I have a tomato. I am putting this also inside the water slowly. See, it didn't get inside. Yes, it is floating on the surface of water. Tomato also has weight. But the thing is that when we cut a tomato, you can see that it is hollow from inside. Alright? When it is hollow from inside, it has air in it. That is why the tomato is not going to the bottom of the water. It is remaining on the surface of the water. Another thing that I want to show you is, this is a wooden piece. Okay? Wood always floats on the surface of water, and that is why bamboo sticks and all are used to make small boats, because it is floating on the surface of water. Now I'll put this also and we'll see what happens. See, it is not immersing inside, it is not going inside, it is not going to the bottom. Yes, it is just floating on the surface of water. The reason is that wood is light in weight. So, whenever we put things in water, the heavy things, they go at the bottom of the surface, at the bottom of the water, and the lighter things, they are on the surface of the water. Now we move on to the last experiment of today, that is also related to water. Now again related to the solubility of water, this time I have taken oil. Now we are going to see that oil is not soluble in water. When oil is added to water, it creates small droplets. In that case, not only oil but some sticky substances like be it ghee, be it say grease, alright. Such kind of sticky substances, they are not soluble in water. Now we are going to do this. I have taken water in one bowl and I have taken some oil in another bowl. I am going to add water slowly. See, going to add oil to this water. Can you see, kids? Some droplets are being created. Yes, oil droplets are being created. Now we'll give it a try. That when we shake it with the spoon, when we mix it or stir it, is oil getting dissolved in water? Can you see? It is still not getting dissolved in water. These droplets, they are floating on the surface of water. That means they are not getting dissolved in water. So even if I stir it, it is remaining the same. So from this we get to know that oil or certain sticky, greasy substances, they are not soluble in water. And what do we use for not soluble? It is insoluble. So according to the experiments that we've seen today, what all things we have seen is some solids, oil and greasy substances are insoluble in water. Salt and sugar are easily soluble in water. Some heavy objects, they don't remain on the surface of water, they go to the bottom, and the lighter objects, they remain on the surface of water. Another thing, when two substances or two rough surfaces are rubbed against each other, some amount of heat is generated. And another one that we had seen is whenever we lit a candle, the flame of any candle or any diya has a outer layer that is partially invisible, but it has a maximum temperature, and even if you keep things little far from that flame, they do catch fire. Hope my kids, you have enjoyed all these experiments. With your parents' help, you can try these experiments at home and see it for yourself that what are the results. So my dear kids, bye-bye for today. Stay home, stay safe, stay connected. Thank you.